My child, listen closely. This moment is not accidental. You didn't come across this message by chance. God is speaking to you right now in this exact moment. Something is shifting in your life. Even if you don't see it yet, even if everything around you looks unchanged, heaven is already at work. You've been waiting for answers, waiting for things to move, waiting for relief. Some of you have been praying quietly late at night, wondering if God still hears you. Others have been holding on with weary hands, saying, God, I trust you, but I'm so tired. And God says, I know. You've felt misunderstood, overlooked, and delayed. You've watched others move ahead while you felt stuck, and you asked yourself if you did something wrong. God says you didn't. He was preparing you. What He is about to do in your life won't just bless you, it will amaze you. This isn't a small shift or a partial breakthrough. This isn't something subtle or quiet. God says He is about to move in a way that silences doubt, removes fear, and makes His presence undeniable in your life. Those who doubted you will watch in disbelief. Those who walked away will hear your story. Even you will look back and say that only God could have done this. Right now, pause for a moment. If this message speaks to you, respond in faith. Don't stay silent because faith responds. The delay was never denial, and the silence was never absence. God has been working behind the scenes, aligning the right people, closing doors you didn't realize were dangerous, and protecting you from things that could have broken you. What you thought was rejection was actually redirection. Some of you are coming out of a season where nothing made sense. You cried without knowing why. You felt pressure without understanding it. God says that pressure wasn't meant to crush you, it was meant to prepare you. Diamonds are formed under pressure, not comfort. A sudden shift is coming. A phone call you didn't expect. An opportunity that feels almost unreal. Healing doctors can't explain. Financial provision that arrives at the perfect time. God says to watch how quickly things change when He steps in. This next blessing won't come the way you imagined. It will come better, bigger, and cleaner, without the stress you thought you'd have to endure. God says He is removing the struggle from the blessing. You won't have to beg or chase. What is meant for you will come looking for you. If you've been feeling a strange mix of fear and excitement lately, that's not random. That's spiritual anticipation. God is stirring something within you because you're closer than you realize. Don't quit now. Don't pull back now. Don't let doubt talk you out of what God has already approved. If you're still holding on even when it's hard, know that there are people watching you who don't know the private battles you fought or how many times you almost gave up. God says He saw every tear. Not one prayer was wasted, and not one cry was ignored. What He is about to do will prove that your faith was never foolish. The next season will restore your confidence. You'll walk differently, speak differently, and pray with boldness again. God says He is giving you your voice back. The heaviness will lift, the confusion will clear, and the strength you thought you lost will return. When the blessing comes, stay humble, stay grateful, and stay close to God. The same God who lifts you also protects you from pride. God says He is blessing you so your life becomes a testimony, not a distraction. Let your faith be visible because someone else needs to know they're not alone. This is only the beginning. What God is about to do will surprise you, but it will also strengthen you. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. God says this shift is happening now because you are finally ready. Not perfect, but ready. Ready in your faith, ready in your heart, and ready in your obedience. There were things you asked for before that God could not release, but now you are prepared to carry what is coming. Not yet, not because God didn't love you, but because the weight of what He was preparing would have overwhelmed you at the time. Now you've been stretched, strengthened, and refined. You made it through seasons that should have broken you. You chose kindness when bitterness would have been easier. You kept praying even when nothing seemed to change. God says that endurance is what qualified you. What you're about to walk into requires maturity, patience, and trust, and you have more of that now than you realize. Some of you have been wondering why things felt heavier right before this message reached you, why the pressure increased, why discouragement got louder. God says the enemy always reacts when he knows his time is short. The resistance you felt wasn't a sign you were failing. It was proof that something valuable is on the other side. You weren't losing ground, you were stepping into new territory. If this connects with where you are right now, receive it without overthinking. God says He is closing cycles that drained you, relationships that confused you, situations that kept repeating, and patterns that made you doubt yourself. This is a season of clarity. You won't have to wonder who is truly for you anymore. You won't chase validation or explain your worth. God is removing what no longer fits where He's taking you. A peace is coming that doesn't depend on circumstances. Even before everything changes on the outside, something will settle within you. Anxiety will loosen its grip. Fear will quiet down. God says He is replacing survival mode with confidence. One day you'll wake up and realize you're no longer bracing for impact, you're expecting good. Some of you are about to step into answers to prayers you prayed years ago and nearly forgot. God says He never forgot. He was waiting for the right time. What felt delayed was actually protected. What felt denied was being reserved. You don't need to force anything right now. Stop rushing. Stop comparing your journey to someone else's. God says what He's doing in your life cannot be duplicated. Your story will be your own. Your breakthrough will be personal. Your testimony will carry weight because of what you survived. Take a moment to acknowledge that God is working for you. If you believe that even a little, understand that this next season will require letting go of control, not effort but control. God says to trust Him even when you don't understand the process. You don't need to see every step, you just need to keep moving. He will direct your path as you go. Some doors will open suddenly. Don't be afraid to walk through them. You are not underqualified, behind, or pretending. God says He prepared you in private for what He's about to do publicly. Confidence will follow obedience. There may be moments when you feel unworthy of the blessing, and that's normal. Grace always feels undeserved. God says He isn't blessing you because you earned it, but because He promised. This isn't coincidence, it's covenant. Be mindful of who you share your next season with. Not everyone who knew you in struggle can handle you in elevation. God says to protect what He's growing. Move quietly, pray deeply, and celebrate privately until the time is right. As you choose faith over fear, you may notice that things you once tolerated now feel heavy. That's growth. God says He is sharpening your discernment. You will stop ignoring red flags. You will stop settling for anything that costs you your peace. You'll choose alignment over attachment. This is also a season of restoration, not just of things, but of you. Your confidence, your joy, your sense of purpose. God says He is restoring what life tried to steal from you. The smile will return. Hope will rise again. Motivation will come back. Don't be surprised if old doors try to reopen, old habits, old people, old temptations. God says those are distractions, not opportunities. You're not going backward, you're moving forward. Don't trade your future for familiarity. Stay consistent in prayer even when life improves. Gratitude keeps doors open and humility protects the blessing. God says to walk with Him, not ahead of Him. If you're still here and this message resonates with you, receive it, because what God is about to do next is closer than you think. This message won't just surprise you, it will shift the way you see yourself, and what comes next will help you understand why everything you've been through truly mattered. God is asking you to listen closely because what's ahead is important. What He is about to do in your life will take courage, not loud or showy courage, but quiet courage. The kind that chooses faith daily even when feelings change. The kind that keeps moving forward even when results don't show up right away. You have outgrown certain places and deep down you already feel it. That sense of restlessness isn't dissatisfaction. It's direction. God is pulling you forward. The discomfort you feel isn't meant to frighten you. It's meant to move you. Staying where you are would cost you more than stepping into the unknown. Some of you have been asking for a sign, and this is it. Not because everything suddenly makes sense, but because your spirit recognizes truth. God's voice is familiar to you, and something inside you is responding right now. Even when doubt tries to come back later and old thoughts whisper, what if this doesn't work, or what if I'm wrong? Remember everything God has already brought you through. You didn't survive all of that just to stop here. Your journey is proof that God finishes what he starts. What's coming next will bring blessing, but it will also bring responsibility. More influence, more peace, more provision, more visibility, and more accountability. Yet you won't walk through it alone. God will give you wisdom for every decision and strength for every challenge. You'll notice your prayers changing. You won't pray just to escape anymore, you'll pray with purpose. You won't only ask for relief, you'll ask for alignment. God is lifting your perspective so you can see beyond yourself and understand how your life is meant to impact others. Even if being used by God feels a little scary, healing is already happening beneath the surface. Wounds you buried, disappointments you never spoke about, betrayals you learned to live with are being healed at the root. You won't hurt people who didn't hurt you. You'll love without fear controlling you, and you'll learn to trust again with wisdom. Some of you are about to receive clarity about a decision you've been avoiding. God will make the path clear without force or manipulation. When it's time, the door will open naturally and peace will meet you as you walk through it. Be patient with yourself during this season of change. Growth isn't always graceful. Some days you'll feel confident and strong, other days unsure, but both are part of the process. Progress still counts even when it's quiet. Small steps matter, and beginnings should never be despised because God often starts with a whisper before releasing something powerful. Stay faithful even when it feels small, because what you do consistently carries more weight than what you do occasionally. There will be confirmation through people, timing, and peace that doesn't always make logical sense. You won't need to chase validation because alignment will speak for itself. When your breakthrough comes, and it will, remember who you were before it arrived. Remember the nights you prayed through tears and the days you felt unseen. Let gratitude keep your heart soft, because gratitude keeps blessings flowing. You are entering a season where you won't question your worth, accept less than you deserve, or shrink yourself to keep others comfortable. God is calling you higher, not above others, but deeper in purpose. Some of you will feel led to walk away from what once felt safe, and that nudge can be trusted. If God is removing you, it's because something better is ahead. You are not losing, you are being repositioned. Stay close to God, not only when you need something, but because you desire Him. When you seek Him first, everything else begins to align, because true peace comes from connection, not circumstances. If you're still here, still listening, still believing, this message is for you. What God is about to do in your life will surprise you, not only because of how big it is, but because of how perfectly timed it will be. What comes next will settle this message deep in your heart. So stay ready and stay faithful. The best days are not behind you, they are unfolding right now. God says this is the moment where trust turns into action. You've heard the promise and felt something stirring inside you, and now comes the step that shows you truly believe. Faith isn't just agreeing with words. Faith moves forward even when your hands shake, even when your voice trembles, and even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. Some of you have been standing at the edge for a long time, knowing something had to change, but fear kept telling you to wait. God says if you don't move, you may stay comfortable, but you won't grow, and you were never created to remain stuck in cycles that hold you back. Right now, God is asking you to release what you've been holding on to so tightly, not because it's wrong, but because it's heavy. Old expectations, old timelines, old versions of who you used to be can't go where God is taking you. Letting go isn't losing, it's aligning. There will be times when obedience doesn't make sense to others. People may question your choices and not understand why you're changing, why you're choosing differently, or why you're no longer available for what drains you. God says you don't need permission from people who cannot see what He has shown you. This season will teach you to live by peace instead of pressure. You will stop saying yes just to keep others comfortable and stop betraying yourself just to be accepted. God is teaching you healthy boundaries, not to push people away, but to protect the purpose inside you. Some of you are about to experience favor that can't be explained. Doors will open without struggle, help will appear at the right moment, and support will come from unexpected places. God says this is grace in motion. When He moves, things align without force. After a long season of waiting, things may suddenly move quickly, and that momentum might feel overwhelming. God says stay grounded, because moving fast doesn't mean moving carelessly. Walk wisely, pray often, and listen closely. If you're choosing direction over comfort, there will also be pruning. God says every fruitful branch is trimmed so it can grow even more. Some connections will fade, some routines will change, and some desires will fall away. Don't grieve what God removes, because He's making room. You're not becoming distant, you're becoming clear. You're not losing compassion, you're gaining discernment. God is sharpening your focus so you won't be distracted by noise the way you once were. This is also a season of confidence, not pride, but deep assurance. You will stop questioning whether you are enough and begin to know that with God, you are equipped. God doesn't choose people who feel ready, He equips those He calls, and you are called. When fear tries to rise again, don't carry it alone. Bring it to God immediately. God can handle your honesty. When doubt is confessed, it loses control, and when fear is exposed, it loses power. Pay attention to what brings you peace, because God often leads through peace, not chaos. If something constantly steals your peace, it isn't from Him. God leads with clarity. You will start to sense when to speak and when to stay silent, when to move and when to wait, because timing matters. Don't rush ahead of grace. Let God's hand guide every step. If you're ready to move forward, even when it feels uncomfortable, know that what God is about to do in your life will surprise you. It will also confirm that this stretch, this growth, and this surrender were necessary. What comes next will bring everything together. God says this is the season where promises become visible, prayers take shape, and faith turns into testimony. You are not stepping into chance, you are stepping into fulfillment. Some of you wondered if the waiting would ever end and how long you could keep believing without proof. God says He was building something deeper than a moment. He was building endurance, and what's coming next will show you why every step mattered. What God is building in your life is meant to last. It won't be fragile and it won't collapse when pressure comes. You are stepping into a deeper kind of peace, not because life suddenly becomes perfect, but because you are becoming grounded and steady. God says the storms you face won't shake you the way they once did. Challenges will still come, but they won't define who you are. Instead of reacting with fear, you'll respond with wisdom. Instead of panic, you'll turn to prayer. This is also a season where questions begin to get answers. Things that once confused you will start to make sense. God says He will connect the dots for you, and when you look back, you'll understand why certain doors had to close, why some people couldn't remain in your life, and why some prayers took longer than you expected. That understanding is part of the blessing. Joy is returning to you now, real joy, not something you have to fake. God is restoring your laughter and reminding you how to enjoy the simple moments again. You'll feel lighter, more hopeful, and less guarded. You'll remember what it feels like to hope freely. Some of you will become living proof for others. People will ask how you survived what you went through, and you'll be able to say that God carried you. Your story will strengthen someone else, and your endurance will become another person's encouragement. Don't rush through this season. Be present in it. God says to receive what He is giving you. You don't need to earn rest or prove your worth. Allow joy to settle in without guilt. You may notice your desires shifting as your heart aligns more closely with God's will. Things that once excited you may no longer hold the same appeal, while new visions and dreams begin to take shape. God is renewing your mind and changing your appetite because your future is changing too. Stay steady, not perfect, just steady. Keep praying, keep trusting, and keep choosing what's right even when no one else sees it. God says faithfulness keeps you in position. This is also a gentle reminder not to return to what God already freed you from. Comfort can feel tempting, but purpose is greater. God says you didn't come this far just to go back to what almost broke you. As blessings increase, humility matters even more. Stay open, stay thankful, and stay connected to God. Gratitude keeps your heart grounded and your direction clear. And hear this clearly, you are not forgotten, you are not behind, and you are not overlooked. God chose you for this moment, and everything you've been through has prepared you for what you are stepping into now. Take a deep breath and let it settle. This is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a new chapter marked by growth, peace, and purpose. What God is about to do in your life will continue to surprise you as you move forward. walking hand in hand with him.